10. Passing the baton. An end and a beginning. After 700 BCE. The secret weapon. An Assyrian scholar, writer of epics and annals for the royal household, like the compiler of the chronicle of Tiglath-Pileser II that is inscribed on a reddish clay tablet, the top part of which now lies in the British Museum, labelled K3751, steeped in the lore of Mesopotamia's past, convinced of his civilization's superiority over all other ways of life, and observing that Aramaic speakers were now promising to become a majority among the empire's population, might have consoled himself with the thought that this was nothing new, or immigrants. For thousands of years, outsiders had entered Mesopotamia as either conquerors or immigrants: Gutians, Elamites, Amorites, Kassites, and many others. Every one of these had eventually either been expelled or had become so totally absorbed that they vanished as identifiably separate ethnic groups, and instead had helped to carry forward their adopted Sumerian-Akkadian culture. This time, however, with the naturalization of Aramic speakers as Assyrian nationals, the image, on a broken black stele, most of which is held in a private collection, is a representation of both the ziggurat's ground plan and its elevation, with King Nebuchadnezzar standing beside them, and an inscription stating, Ete Menanki, I made it the wonder of the people of the world. I raised its top to the heaven, made doors for the gates, and covered it with bitumen and bricks. The relief corrects Herodotus by showing not 8, but only 6 stages with a spacious temple on top. Today there is not even a ruin where Ete Menanki once raised its top towards heaven. Alexander of Macedon, after his Asian conquests, intended to make Babylon the capital of his empire. Modelling his royal actions on Mesopotamian tradition, he determined to restore Babylon's ziggurat, and began by dismantling the aging structure in preparation for its reconstruction. He did not live long enough to achieve his ambition, so all we find today in what was once Babylon's Eridu quarter are the waterlogged foundations. Beyond Sagila and Ete Menanki, visitors to Babylon passed through another gate to enter the adjoining quarter. From the Grand Gate to the Ishtar Gate is called Ka-Dingir-Ra, says the itinerary. Ka-Dingir-Ra is Sumerian for the Akkadian Bab-Ilum, Babylon, interpreted as meaning Gate of God. Perhaps this area was the original nucleus of the urban foundation. Thus Eridu, the original locus of Mesopotamian culture, and Babylon, its final and most glorious expression, were here symbolically united in facts on the ground. The Ka-Dingir-Ra quarter contained the most spectacular of Nebuchadnezzar's urban renewal projects: his own magnificent palaces, the processional way, its walls magnificently restored with glazed tile lions, leading to the Marduk temple through the magnificent 18-metre-high Ishtar Gate with its crenellated bastions, their glittering blue facades adorned with bulls and dragons in white and ochre, and bearing a long inscription by the king himself. This street of Babylon having become increasingly lower, I pulled down the gates and relaid their foundations at the water table with asphalt and bricks. I had them remade of bricks with blue stone, on which wonderful bulls and dragons were depicted. I covered their roofs by laying majestic cedars lengthwise over them. I fixed doors of cedarwood, trimmed with bronze, in all the gates. I placed wild bulls and ferocious dragons in the gateways, and thus adorned them with luxurious splendour, so that mankind might gaze on them in wonder.